showed up around 8, and then Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu showed up at about 1 a.m. and was like, hey, where's the fucking snacks, bro? Snacks. And then they choked everybody and took the snacks. So give it up for that. You were one of the ones who showed up at 1 a.m. 2005. I started training in 2005, so I've been training 20 years. And one of the first places I ever went was there with Greg Nelson, and just traveling. And I knew it was for me when I watched the videos. It was Damian Maya, Sauer, and the videos looked like hostage videos, and they couldn't speak English. and they're like, okay, well, you don't have to be like a strong guy. You fight strong guys. It's too much energy, too much strength. It's too much strength. You don't have to use so much strength, so much energy. You can't just use a little bitch energy. Be a little bitch. I'm a little bitch. This is for me. So I got super into it, and I loved it. And it was for instance, the guy I ended up training with in LA, a guy named Mario Aiello, and the language barrier created all these humorous situations because he didn't know the hierarchy of swear words. He didn't know, hell or damn was the same to him as the F word. So we were doing kids classes, and he'd be calling them all kinds of stuff. Shut up! All these rich soccer moms, like, that's how they do it in Brazil. It's very fun. So I was training, we couldn't find it in the beginning. There was a few guys that were legit, and then everybody else is just doing stuff. And so I'm traveling for a living. I would call, I couldn't find it. I'd have to call like a Korean grocery and be like, hey, have you guys heard of jiu-jitsu? And they're like, I think there's a Mexican guy in a storage unit. And a Mexican guy in a storage unit. And I'd show up and there'd be like a Brazilian dude who just got out of prison. He's on a work visa because he's a landscaper. And so class starts at 9. And there's like a bunch of off-duty cops and construction workers. No one knows to tap because they can't understand a word he's saying. And they're just fighting to the death. Ah! And that was jiu-jitsu to me. So I'm like, all right. So for 10 years, that was jiu-jitsu to me. And then I heard at this seminar, I heard somebody use the word technique. I was like, what is this? Sensei, what is this technique? What do you have to twist and smash to do this technique move you speak of? And then I started learning, and it was only then I started learning. I moved here 10 years ago, and James, and by the way, the guy that when I was with Mario Aiello, I also didn't know about the territorialism. So I would wear these shirts that I got from all around the country, and I would show up in these shirts at class, and Mario hated that, hated that. I had no idea. So I had no idea that he hated me. I had no idea. He just didn't treat me the same. And I'm like, well, maybe these things are really good, or whatever. And then he gave me my purple belt, Hoyler, and him gave me my purple belt, and he made a big show of it. There's 120 people at a Hoyler thing, and they're giving belts, and I'm the last belt. And I'm like, oh man, this is gonna be good. It's the last belt. My kids are there, my wife, everybody's there. And Mario comes up, and he goes, this last belt's very important to me. This guy, he come here. He wears a shirt from other academies, and I think to myself, this guy's bullshit. His jiu-jitsu's bullshit. And he's bullshit. And I think, I don't like this guy. For a long time, I hate his guts. He wears the shirt. Who does that? To wear the shirt from some other academy? It's my academy, or my academy. And he's just bitching me out in front of everybody. He's sure I don't know who does this, and then I get to know him. And I feel his heart. I like him. I like to touch him. He's like a son to me. And he starts fucking crying. And gives me my purple belt, and I love him so much, like a son, and I give him purple belt today. And I'm like, what the hell happened? Like, is this martial arts? Is this jiu-jitsu? But it was the Wild West, and now it's this, man. You created it, so give it up for Pedro. Yeah. Because it's where I found my community. I'm gonna do this silly thing. Greg didn't know till today that he changed my life. Telling me his story when I was a white belt, blue belt, white belt actually. And my dad lived in Minneapolis. So I would bring my dad, sit on the mats. You treated me like I lived there, like I lived at your academy with you, like I was your kid or something, and like a son, dude. And you had just met me. And man, that meant so much to me. And your story inspired me for the rest of my fucking life in the hard times. And you're a father to me. You're a father to me. you guys are all family to me, and that's how I get through the hardest stuff in my life. I'll sit at that academy because he lets me do this, and I get to go in alone, and I'll sit and I lay on that mat, and I feel those men in those pictures encourage me and hold me, and I feel their leadership. And that to me is jiu-jitsu, and that's what we have. And that is fucking gay. Throws so much at us, and we got each other, right? Like, I've been married 18 years, and I recently went through a divorce in my head. I've been through a ton of these in my head. This was the best one, though. I got all the property. I was so excited I had to tell my wife. You ever wake up from a dream and start to tell your spouse, and then realize partway through, you're like, ooh, you're not going to like all this dream? My dreams always sound so weird. You're like, that doesn't make sense at all. Well, I'm leaving some shit out. That's my dream. I have a friend who is a polyamorous relationship. He's like, add a person, you're polyamorous. I was like, my wife and I aren't even amorous. That's not going to work for us. We need a whole other person just to be monogamous. So we're so deep in it, man. But my wife and I have 3 kids, and we're thinking about having less kids, actually. We have teenagers who want to thin the herd, you know what I mean? And I didn't want to have this many kids, but my wife is a warrior, you know. Women, give it up for women for sacrificing their bodies for the family. I feel for her. My wife has had 3 children through her body. As a result, she can't go on trampolines without pissing her pants. That is not fair. Go roller coasters or shuttle vans or trampolines, parachuting, church, shippies, everywhere, man. Look, a rainbow. No, that's the Mommy and Me parachute class. Everything up there's pink. That's where rainbows come from. If it was up to guys, there'd be nobody on the planet. We couldn't handle that. If you told a guy that after 3 kids, he couldn't go bowling without dumping in his drawers, there'd be nobody here, man. Guys, I love to play pickleball in, but I don't want to poop in my shoes again. We just had I'm just too old to be having kids. I'm 54 years old, and jiu-jitsu's keeping me alive, but it's like, man, I woke up 20 minutes before my Achilles tendons this morning. Is this jiu-jitsu, or this is what happens? I'm working, I don't went to bed. These aren't even real. 5 years ago, my eyes decided they'd seen enough. They quit. I used to recognize everybody in my house. Now I have to put on reading glasses just to open mouth kiss my own wife. People in my house, dogs. I don't want to accidentally make out with a nanny or something. That happens all the time if you watch the news. Midlife crisis, guys run away with the nanny. Same time in life they lose their eyesight. Coincidence? Maybe not. Isn't it possible 20% of those guys didn't notice that was the nanny until they were in Cabo? Honey, I'm having a blast! I didn't know you liked kayaking. Oh, shit, a nanny! I think I'm in Cabo with a nanny, guys. We got my readers. Cheaters. Is that why you call them cheaters? Like saying the age of my kids, because people always say that same expression that doesn't make any sense. Oh, that's a great age. You ever heard that? That's a great age. If you got kids, you know what you're thinking. Is it? For what? Not landscaping. Never. I've been through the terrible twos 3 times. I've yet to see the take the trash out teens. That's never going to happen. I just feel warm inside knowing my son is screening directly toward the wipe your dad's ass 40s, and I'm going to make it so dirty for you. Get in here, son. I got it on the walls again. We're ugly. Should have took the trash out, asshole. I moved here. I moved to Savannah 10 years ago, and I looked it up, and I'm like, oh, what about hurricanes? And Savannah had not been hit by a hurricane in over 80 years. I was like, we'll be safe here, honey. And I've been here 10 years, been hit by 5 hurricanes. And I love it here. Do we have, is there anybody, well, clap if you're from Savannah. Who's the Savannah people? All right, what about West Coast? Are the West Coasters? Clap for West Coast anywhere like west of the... Okay, one guy. That was guy who came late, got his food right before I went on stage. Like, it's an LA thing, bro. Where are you from? Salt Lake City. Oh, you're Salt Lake. Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, that's That's where your first academy was, right? You went, yeah, first straight to it. Yeah. Salt Lake City. Is just one guy from Salt Lake? Is there any California people? Do we have California people in the association? No? No California people made it? We got Louisiana? I know we got Louisiana. Yeah. This place is like Louisiana, huh? Yeah. Did it, some people brought kids. Brought kids with you, right?
Yeah.
You probably. That's your kid? Oh, no way, really? Yeah. Was he born with those ears?
He was born here.
You were born here?
I was born in Savannah, yeah.
Oh, you were born in Savannah? You look like Seth if Seth like took a wrong turn somewhere. A good wrong turn. So yeah, I've been doing comedy 25 years, and the traveling was like, because I end up in all these places, all your towns, like I go to all your towns, and I've been doing it forever. So when the pandemic hit, it was a double-edged sword, because it's dangerous out there. I don't know what I'm running into. I got caught in is anybody from Colorado? I got caught in a bank robbery in Colorado. There's no air. There's no air in Colorado. They don't even explain it. They just, we don't have air. We don't have it. You just gotta bring your own air. Yeah, no oxygen. They replaced it with marijuana. Totally. So I just showed up to play a comedy club, and then I had to do some banking. So I asked my front desk clerk of the hotel where the bank was, and I can't tell you the name of the bank on stage anymore because Bank of America has this thing about walls. So she draws me a map. I goes, "A walking distance?" She goes, "Yeah." So the part of that means if you're a camel, because I walked for 2.5 hours, zero oxygen, and I show up, just want to do a wire transfer of $15 to my friend who sometimes needs $15. And I don't know if you know this, wire transfers cost $16. According to Trevor, there's always a Trevor at every bank. Everything's $16. So I have my back to Trevor, and I'm standing by the door. So I tell you that to tell you this, I'm standing by the door, and I'm the only guy watching people come in. And there's a guy running in with a gun in his hand and a Bill Clinton mask on, and I'm the only one to see him. So naturally, I was like, that's a weird way to run into a bank. Because you never think bank robbery, and then a second later, my mind caught up, and I'm like, oh shit, this guy's gonna rob us. So I peed a little first, because it's like a time management issue. And then I turned to everybody, and I go, you guys! And they all looked at me, and then I froze. I didn't know what else to say. All I could think of is the movies, where they say, this is a robbery! But you can't say that if you're in the front and say, you're the robber! I froze and motioned. I was like, and I pointed at him as he ran in. I introduced him. I hosted the robbery. Give it up, be ready! He came in with a gun in his hand and a Bill Clinton mask on. Hand to God. He goes, everybody on your knees! And nobody laughed but me. People in their 20s don't know what the hell we're talking about. Is that Hillary Clinton's wife? I got caught in a naked bike race in Portland, Oregon. Is somebody Oregon in here? Oregon? Isn't there somebody from Oregon? No? They have a naked bike race. Just a surprise naked bike race. They don't even tell you. You know, you show up. I got up to a stoplight in the middle of the night, and all of a sudden, people are coming out of the bars. They're like, wait, it's coming. I'm like, what's coming? 250 naked people on bicycles blew through the intersection. I don't care what you think you do, you cheer. Everybody cheers, man. We're honking our horns. Even the cops were like, go naked weirdos! And everybody got into this naked bike race. And then it went through, and there was this tangible lull after. We were like, oh, the naked bike race. I didn't even know that was going to happen. Now I'm sad that it's done, because nothing follows a naked bike race. I don't care what plans you had, cancel them. Nothing's as cool as a naked bike race. Oh, and then a minute and a half later, I saw the most awkward thing I've ever seen in my life. A naked bike race straggler. It's no longer a celebration, my friends. That is one creepy naked weirdo stuck in a stoplight, arrested for nudity a minute after hundreds of people. So that was, for me, the double-edged sword of the pandemic. Clap if you got sent home to work from home during the pandemic. Did anybody get sent home to work from home? Okay. So yeah, a lot of us got some of us. And me, I'm a comedian. I was like, what am I going to do? And then my wife's like, yeah, what are you going to do? I didn't marry you because you're going to be here. I married you because you're gone 3 weeks a month. You're here 4 now, that's all of them. That's not going to work for us. So then, I got a phone call from an agent. He said, I got a show for you, a Zoom comedy show. I was like, is that faster comedy? I don't want to go faster. It was the meetings you guys were going to, because your bosses got nervous because they sent you home and they weren't right up your ass anymore, so they thought maybe you were sad. So they're like, oh, they're sad. We need a comedian. They called entertainment agents. We need a comedian for the Zoom town hall meeting to raise morale because our employees are sad. because they're at home with their dogs and their alcohol and their families, so they're sad. I got 2 meetings in. I'm like, these people have never been happier in their life. They're drunk at 10 a.m., no pants on, at work. It was like a nudist alcoholic revolution. Yeah, and my mother would have loved it. My mother, after 65 years of hard drinking, has been sober for 6 years. She's been dead for 7, but that's a win. For some of you, it's my mom. She's like, well, I took care of her in her last years, which I think you should do. Take care of your elders. Is how we learn about them. We learn about ourselves. I learned so much about being a man at that time. Learned it from them, and I also learned that you got to send your elders to the doctor early in the day before the box of wine if you want a good diagnosis. Because I sent my mother to the doctor complaining of vertigo after drinking a box of wine, and the doctor was like, "Man, that's dizziness. That's also a symptom of being wasted. Have you had alcohol today? Your teeth are purple." 80-year-old lady answered, "Have you had alcohol today?" "No, I've had wine." When you're an 80-year-old lady, wine's no longer alcohol, it's a blood thinner. So then she had to switch to vodka. She said, "Nobody's gonna know if they can't smell it, they're not gonna know." I was like, "Mom, you got a Smirnoff purse, that's a dead giveaway." Stumble into the doctor's office and your kettle one moo-moo, they're onto you. So she wanted to be an OnStar operator because her neighbor did it. That's what she told me. "I'm gonna be an OnStar operator. She's gonna put a word in for me. I'm gonna have a job and no one's gonna be able to smell it." I was like, "Mom, you're the most drunken, sarcastic, misspoken woman I've ever talked to on the telephone. You should definitely do that. That'd be an awesome experience. Would you not pay extra to get your own drunk, angry, confused mother in an emergency?" "I ran out of gas." "Oh, really? Well, didn't you know you're going somewhere? A gas can in the hand is better than when you're hitchhiking in the bushes." She was making up expressions our whole life. We had no idea until we were adults we would quote her and look like assholes. "Sometimes early worm eats birds in the sunshine where there's haystacks to be made. That's how you lose needles." My mom said, my favorite one she'd say was, "It's like I tell you something, it just goes in one ear." That's it. Never knew there was more of that shit until I was 30 years old. All those expressions are weird. You ever use an expression and think, where did that come from? You had to learn English as a second language. They're weird. And you think, like, did that really happen? Like, I have a buddy, whenever he sees a big, scary guy with tattoos and muscles and cauliflower hair, he goes, "Man, I wouldn't want to meet that dude in a dark alley." Like, really? Dark alleys? That's where you're going to draw the line on that fucking animal? I don't want to meet that dude anywhere. You kick the ass in a dark alley, pretty sure you can pull it off in broad daylight. You know why I would want to meet in a dark alley? A midget with night vision. That'd be terrible. I believe that's who rules the dark alleys. Time heals all wounds. Do we believe that? The rat's ass. Remember that? I don't get a rat's ass. Good. Don't. Why do you have a rat's ass? Where did you get a rat's ass? How'd you separate the ass from the rat? With the intention of gifting it to me if my behavior's appropriate? Time heals all wounds. Does anybody believe that? You guys believe time heals all wounds? No. Not sure hemophiliac. I said that in northern Florida, and a guy got mad because he didn't know what the word meant. They broke off into argument at his table. "I don't know why this guy don't speak English. Hemophilia. What the hell he's even talking about? I think my cousin's a hemophiliac." He told us Thanksgiving, his daddy's like, "Ain't no son of mine gonna be a hemophiliac. Not in my house, you hemos in your short shorts and your parades and your jiu-jitsu." Yeah, man. This has been a treat just to be in with these guys. That's family. It's good. You know, I was a little bit abused as a kid, and so when I was 20, I was like, I'm not gonna have kids because I'd see people be mean to their kids, and I'm like, I would think, you know, I couldn't do it. I couldn't be a parent, and then I started having kids, and then now when I see people, I'm 54, I got 3 kids, and I see people being mean to their kids, and I'm like, God, what a dick that kid must be to get his parents to hate him. So the people that don't know I'm not gay, think I'm gay because of jiu-jitsu, but I'm not, but I did buy a bidet, which I think is gay adjacent. Bidets are good. Yes, I love my bidet. I can't get my kids to use it. You ever try to convince children to hose off their buttholes? The whole conversation feels illegal, even if they're kids. But I had to do something because one of my littlest kids thought it was a water fountain. I was like, no, it's not for your face. And they're expensive, but I found a cheap one, and I recommend the expensive one. No pressure control on my bidet. That's a real problem. Level 1 is BAM! Level 2, tile removal. I just had a wasp nest that's been there for 3 years. You can break up a non-violent protest with a no-landing bidet. Last time I'm using my bidet, it comes out of my nose. It's too much pressure. So yeah, all that time when we were going through the pandemic, and then I was like, I'm not letting the government poke me full of mysterious liquids that may or may not cure me from something that may or may not kill me. And my wife's like, we need to get vaccinated immediately. I was like, I agree, 100%. Honey. That's how wishy-washy everybody was. Plus, I'd rather let the government poke me full of mysterious liquids that may or may not cure me from something that may or may not kill me than deal with my wife's kind of uninformed arguments. So technically, I was being vaccinated against arguments with my wife. I don't know what And then we went to it was this, here they had a Gulf Stream, if you went, you know this, they had the mass vaccination site. It said mass vaccination this way, a digital sign run by the military, where cars were like, seen this movie, I don't want to be in it. It was insane. And it was run by the military. And I learned that day, when you join the military to get an education, they don't give you the education first. Because the dude that ran our line didn't know what was going on. He joined at 10 a.m., it was 11. He's like, oh, you're going to get the balls of vaccine. There's like a line of cars, and he goes, you're going to get the balls of vaccine. And my wife said, I've never heard of that. I go, I don't care what you call it or where you put it. Put my eyeball, my asshole. I'm just doing it so she'll shut up about it. And then she said, I've never heard of Bosnia. What is that? And he said, I don't know, it's just called Bosnia. She goes, no, it can't be. Is it Moderna? He's like, no, you mean like, is it modern? Like, is it new? Polio? She goes, no, like, is it Johnson & Johnson? He goes, no, ma'am, that's baby shampoo. This is a vaccine. So then she says, is it one shot or two? And he says, no, ma'am, it's one shot, and just one shot, and it's called Bosnia. They don't tell me everything. And then she says it can't be one shot if it's not Moderna or Johnson & Johnson. He said, well, that's what it is, just one shot. And then in 21 days, you got to come back and get another one shot. She goes, that's 2 shots. He goes, no, ma'am, it's one. You just got to do it twice. So she says, she figures out, are you trying to say Pfizer? He's like, oh, shit, I've been trying to get that right all day long, which means the other 100 people in front of her in line were just cool with the knockoff Bosnia Walmart. They're probably still bragging about it. You don't even know what I got. I got me the Bosnia brand. I'm protected against the Delta variant, the Omega Mega Moo, the Epsilon Pi. I ain't had a hay nail in 3 weeks. This shit's amazing. Just made us all idiots, man. So this is the first time I've ever performed with my hair down, and not in a ponytail, because it's getting longer now. And I was diagnosed with, it's very sad, but I was diagnosed with cowlicks. I don't know if you guys know that. You know what that is? It's where big chunks of your hair don't like each other. They're like, screw it, I'm not standing next to him anymore. He's curly and straight, he's been trying to touch me all day. I feel like, we call it a cowlick, like a cow licked you and walked away and ruined your hair forever. Like, that makes sense. Outside of Kansas, just, what the hell was that? That was a cow. They'll ruin your hair. Everybody knows that. We're the only country naming our hairdos after farms. We have so many farm hairdo names: cowlicks, ponytails, pigtails, cornrows, goat nuts. It's like a big farm party on your head. Somebody in Africa right now goes, honey, just put your hair into a hippo nipple so we can go. Anybody speak that language? How good would that be? That's an African language with clits. We should get an association there in South Africa. Jiu-Jitsu. Jiu-Jitsu, yeah. If I could speak that language, I'd show up at every bilingual job interview. Do you speak Spanish? No. I always thought it'd be cool if one of those dudes had a stutter. Come on, dude, that is a brutal stutter. The kids keep answering the door. Don't think I'm insensitive to the challenge of a stutter. My best friend growing up had a severe stutter, and he always told me his worst fear in the world is being pulled over by a police officer because his stutter would make him look nervous. I was like, you should become a police officer. That'd make everybody nervous. So here's how karma works. I got pulled over by an actual cop with a stutter in real life, probably because I said that shit. And not like I ain't done with a stutter either. This dude closed his eyes and come, He looked at me like I was making it weird. I had no idea. Like, fuck with my head? Are you serious? How am I supposed to not giggle and go to prison for the rest of my life? And he's a cop. How dangerous is that? Free. Shit! A shot when I kick it. Freeze out time. This isn't gonna work. What if you had a stutter and you got pulled over by that cop? That'd be disastrous if that happened to my friend. You want to make fun of me, motherfucker? Change tapes in the dash cam halfway through. I'm going to keep you guys here all night long. I really appreciate you taking the time. Sure. I don't know what that means. Okay, let me I don't know.
All right, my name's Eric Bailey, and I'm sitting here with Collin Moulton. We just wrapped up a show here at Dubs.
For the Pedro Sauer Jiu-Jitsu Association? Yeah. Okay.
There we go. Made a lot of new friends tonight. Make some noise right now for appreciate you, Collin. Much love.
Thank you, guys. Good night.